in the short couple seconds it took me to start recording a new video, I realized that I haven't talked about my sister. I got into talking about Godzilla. Alright. Anyway, let's get back to where I was. I went over to talk to her, basically just tell her everything that was going down yesterday. And she was just like, yeah, I really don't care, and I'm just waiting to die. And I'd like to not have to care about my sister if she's just gonna be like that, but I can't, because I'm her legal guardian now, and I have to make sure she's okay. However, she's actively making that hard. And I made that apparent to her. I said, you're making this very difficult on both of us. Well, I mean, at least on me. And she said, well, I'm sorry. And that's just how it is. And it's fucked up because, when I was with Carly for so long, I was forced to leave her back in Southern Oregon. I mean, when I lived in Florida, I was forced to leave my group of friends there. There have been, most of my life has been hitting the reset button on my geographical location and my geographical environment of friends and my physical and the physical community around me. That button has always been reset, so I'm very used to having very temporary friendships. Even people I know online, there's no friendship I've kept on. I keep friendships online. I just don't stay talking with the people for long periods of time. I'll talk to you for a long time in spurts, and then I'll just go away for a while. And that's just how it is. That's like, I can't even stay in a guild for too long. I don't know what it is. I just gotta get up and move eventually. I don't know what it is. Something about being static, and I think that's just because I've been moving around for so long. And she doesn't want to do that. And I know it sucks, but really, sometimes it's just the best choice. And it's not permanent. She just doesn't want to leave Houston. And I heard some shit recently about how her and her best friend have like a suicide pact or some shit. And I'm like, really? You're fucking 14. Even when I was 14, we always have thoughts of suicide. But even at 14, I told myself I was definitely too young to fucking decide to kill myself. You haven't been here long enough to know that things are bad enough to kill yourself yet. How you fucking... Not to mention you're white in America. In 2012, we got it bad, but we still got it really good compared to everything else. Compared to most other things. So I really don't see a motive to kill yourself. Especially in my sister's position, because I'm right here down the street, and she has a boyfriend or whatever that she gets to see. She doesn't really have to go to school much. They just drink a lot. And I really don't see what there is to kill yourself about. So, if somebody's watching this and they know my sister, tell her to not do that. Not that I'm afraid she's going to kill herself, because most people that want to kill themselves, they don't say they're going to kill themselves. They just kill themselves. When you want to really kill yourself, you're not really thinking about other things, I imagine. I imagine you're just goalless. I imagine your goal is to get out. I was thinking about that too earlier. I was thinking, you just look at how fucked up life is and just how crazy it is. Just, some things are so ironic that they just seem like they're part of a movie script in life. An example Rogan uses a lot is you have that wiener guy, and then he gets caught fucking jacking off in public. The Coney guy. And then his last name's Wiener, and he gets caught jacking off in public? That's not real. That's a joke. I just feel like, I personally feel like this life is a game, sort of. It's sort of like a game that I accept to play. And death is sort of a permanent exit. But for now, I've decided that I'm not really looking for fairness in life as much as I'm just, I'm accepting to be here. And the fact that death exists I think that's a beautiful thing, because it gives everybody an optional route to get out if they absolutely want to. It's permanent, but it's an option. And I think it's great that exists. But you gotta have it bad. You got to have it pretty bad to go somewhere where you have no idea. You don't even know if there is somewhere you're going. It's so bad here that you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck about what's on the other side. You're just willing to take that risk. Damn. That's some crazy shit. Don't get me wrong. I've been through a lot of times where I was really, of course everybody, I don't know about everybody, but I went through a time where it was a definite consideration. But I never got to the point where I was physically working on it. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like planning it out, like a date and all that. And I just never really got there. It's always just been sort of a relief to have as and not even like suicide necessarily, but just the fact that my body is able to die. That's sort of a relief. That's sort of cool. Okay, this isn't permanent. Of course I don't want things to end prematurely, but it's just, I think it's good that the option exists, and the option that I can force it if I want to. If I can bury my human instincts, my human survival instincts enough to overcome them, and I want to go that bad, that's awesome. I think free will at that level is something that it's hard not to be amazed by it. It's hard not to be I don't know how to explain why it's amazing. Because it's just a default thing. You don't even think about it. Nobody created that. It's just the way it is. But it's just, like I said, this life is just sort of a game. This life, it really does seem like a scripted game to a certain point. And like I said, I'm not looking for fairness. I just accept living here. I accept that I live here. And that's what that is. And I have we all have the door. If you want to leave, go for it. But for the time being, this is where we are. And this is the game we're playing. So I'm not really looking for fairness, and I'm not really looking for things to make sense after to an extent. But I don't know. And I haven't really lived long enough to solidify my observation of reality. I haven't lived long enough for somebody to come up and tell me that none of this is real. I haven't lived long enough for me to call that guy a bullshitter. I'm not completely certain that I'm here yet. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think I've lived long enough to be completely convinced of it. And I think a lot of it is just because of how much we change in these years. I feel like this is good. I wanted to make a video, and now I got it off. So I think I'm done. I think I covered most of the things I wanted to talk about. If not, we can see if we can go a little bit longer. Let's end this one with a question. This is one because you hear about. Okay, I don't know if a successful brain transplant has happened, but brain surgery has happened, and you can remove portions of your brain. Now, you can also remove portions of your face, obviously, and you can remove portions of the skull and still be alive. And, of course, things like hair and just little other things that are on the surface. But how much can you remove before you die? Can you survive skullless? Like without, just the respiratory. Do you even? Well, yeah, but no. Would you even need the respiratory? Well, yeah, but would you need it to come past this point? Could you be just a brain? And what would existence be like? That'd be insane if you were just because you could. I wonder if you could still move. But you don't want to move too much because your brain probably isn't too sturdy. You don't have too much brain muscles to pick it up with you. You probably just lay there. But could you, in theory, because they've made a dog head live for a couple minutes on a machine, like it was reacting to light and stuff, and you get the idea. But can you be just a brain with the perfect scenario surgery and everything goes right? And I suppose they'd have to put the brain in some sort of contaminate or anti-contamination device or bowl type thing, like they have in Futurama when they have the heads in them, or like the brains they have on that Alien Invaders movie. I don't remember the name of it. I only know that movie because it's the only that movie was playing in a hotel one night, and that was the first time I ever stayed up all the way out through all the way throughout the night. I think it was more of a comedy. But you know the one I'm talking about, where their brains were in like the tube things, and I was in a hotel. I was really young. I don't remember where it was, but somewhere here in Texas. It was before I ever even left the state I was born in. And it was my first time staying up till dawn, and it was the first time that in the same session of consciousness I got to see the sun go down and then come back up, as opposed to vice versa. But I just remember the main thing was just sitting there watching that movie while everybody else was asleep. Didn't really scare me. But yeah, anyway, could you be just a brain? In theory, could you exist as just that? That is my question to you. And to everybody else, have a good night.